Yo, plot armor in anime is fucking trash, my nigga. I fucking hate it. It seems like anime is the only type of content that can do plot armor at its fucking worst. I know TV shows and readings do fucking plot armor all the time, but it's like anime just takes this shit to a whole nother level. And maybe that's because I'm more passionate about anime than I am in any other content or movie or any type of book. I'm just more excited when I watch anime. I think about this shit most of the time. So when I'm reading a manga called My Hero and then I find out that Deku now can use the 9 other one-for-all quirks, that triggers the fuck out of me, because as a fan, I felt like you should have told me this in the beginning when All Might was explaining the one-for-all quirk in the first fucking place. Also in Naruto, when Naruto and Sasuke were able to use Ashura and Indra's fucking powers because they were reincarnations, and not Ashura and Indra's, I mean the Sage of Six Paths power, and that whole reincarnation shit didn't come into Shippuden, and if shit felt like it came out of nowhere. I felt like it should have been introduced in the beginning of Naruto as some type of secret prophecy or some shit. And also when Minato didn't use the fucking Sage mode when the Nine Tails was attacking the village. I'm pretty sure he could have ended that whole fucking catastrophe and might even still been alive if he used the Sage mode. But the plot chose not to introduce that until later in the stories, and I can understand it to some degree because authors have to come up with this shit on the fly. So when they come up with these things, you know, it can be seem out of nowhere, but I don't buy into that at all. Like, I feel like if you know your story, you should know your story. Like, especially if you're gonna come up with shit, at least look back and kind of like follow all the way up through, so when you make up these abilities, it won't seem like they came out of nowhere. Like the whole Minato with the Sage thing. They did better not even saying Minato didn't have the Sage mode at all. Instead, the nigga in the war arc chilling like, yo, I got the Sage shit too. Like, niggas is confused. Like, and anyone who has seen Fairy Tail or Sword Art Online, I mean, those are literally like the pinnacle of fucking plot armor. Like, and then they don't care. Like, the author doesn't mind showing that Nasu can one-shot these villains in one punch, all because of one of his friends got hurt, or fucking Kirito fucking hacking into the fucking game to just doing some wild shit, even coming back to life after being killed because power of love, some shit like that. It makes no sense, and it just leaves me puzzled. And then, like, I don't see how people can be disrespectful to their, you know, their content like that. Like, do you even go over your shit? Like, if I'm told I can make my own anime and then make it a whole story, you best believe that I'm going back on everything and I'm looking at the plot holes. I'm turning that shit into different people that I trust so they can look over it and they can tell me like, yo bro, like this shit look trash right here, this shit don't make sense, because I want my shit to be the best of the best. At least when I'm doing shit, I want my shit to be the best of the best. Like this YouTube shit, like sooner or later I'm trying to get better equipment so I can sound better, because I probably sound muzzled as fuck on here right now. But other than that, yeah, you can't be disrespectful to your anime series like that, or any content, whether it's a book or a fucking TV show, because this TV shows I've seen where it's like, alright, come on now, like Stranger Things and shit, like it's a lot of shit, and then I just rather the story be told in a, you know, logical sense where it can make sense and come together, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or Hunter x Hunter. You know, now I'm not the type to always pick flaws, but it's the obvious ones that makes me fucking angry and makes me drop the show altogether. Like Haiku, the volleyball show. It was one scene where the fucking Tanaka Ryosuke dude literally saves the ball, and then the anime shows him literally cutting to the scene where he saved the ball, and it's like, what the fuck was that? Like, nigga, y'all couldn't just show the nigga running trying to save the ball. Y'all just cut to this nigga just saving the ball when it's finna go out of bounds. And Okawa in that Aiba Josai team, they was finna be Kurosawa for like the second time, and they just fucking said, nah, we can't have Kurosawa lose because how would the plot progress? You know, like, it's a volleyball anime, nigga. Like, if y'all niggas wanted to choose to extend y'all series, now it would be a good time because you can actually have these players develop. Because Aiba Josai got even better because after they lost to the Ushijima team, the team with the purple shit on, even after they lost to them, they instantly got better. And then going into season 3, I think, when they had the 10 episode shit where Kurosawa was going against the Ushijima dude, they even had a segment in there trying to explain the bullshit, right? It was like, oh, Aiba Josai team is more complete than Ushijima's team. That means that they're only relying on this dude right here. I'm like, you can't do that because then why the fuck did Aiba Josai lose to them in the first fucking place? You know, so and then that team is hella experienced. They was over here forcing hella key moments. It felt like a game 6 in the NBA finals with a referee and just not giving a fuck. They're just letting the underdogs just get they shit off so that NBA can try to extend the series or some shit. It just felt so fucking fake. And I dropped Haiku right after that shit. Like, whatever Haiku is coming out with after that, I'm just done with it because at that point they have no business being anywhere where they should be right now because like that team is not really all that good, and they try to say that Hinata and Toby Kageyama, they try to say Kageyama is supposed to be this god or whatever the fuck. I tried reading the manga. That manga looks like shit. That artwork looks terrible. I'm not reading that shit. But that's a perfect example on how a good anime can be turned into shit, because when you fuck up a key moment that's supposed to involve the series and you choose to go about it in a bullshit way, then it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And from here on in the series, all I can think about is, damn, these niggas low-key shouldn't even be here. Like real talk, they shouldn't even be here. It should be Aiba Josai, really, because who the fuck is these other niggas in the Nationals? Like, I'm not even gonna try to even learn any of these niggas. But that's off of Haiku for the moment, because that shit really pissed me off. And that was really one of my favorite anime to watch until that fucking moment. So, and like I said, I don't mind like doing a little plot armor here and there, because every once in a while everyone wants to see the underdog succeed, but they don't want to succeed in a bullshit way. Some people just don't give a fuck altogether, because most people watch anime with their minds closed. They don't look at everything in a logical way like how I do. Like, I overanalyze shit to a point where I'm like, alright nigga, like I seen that shit. Like, y'all niggas too busy looking at the animation. I'm over here looking at the damn quality of the damn story. Which leads to me saying what I pretty much said about like 3 seconds ago or 5 minutes ago, whatever, that I think low-key the series should be shorter. I don't think they should overextend this welcome. I think they should just tell their story, and then from that point on, just add like any content that they want, like some creative shit from here on that. Don't make it canon. For instance, like the whole Broly situation. That whole Broly situation in Dragon Ball, Broly wasn't even a real character, but he was so loved because, he was just a love character. I don't know why they was loved, because I never really gave a shit about Broly, but he turned out to be a fan favorite, and now he's in a real story now. And I feel like you can do that with other series as well, and not try to, fuck up your story by like introducing some shit, trying to make your story seem more exciting than what it is. Just make these side things. Like, I'm pretty sure if they was to put Broly in the main story of Dragon Ball, it would have made no sense whatsoever, and I'm pretty confident that's why they made the shit into like a side story or a non-canon story. So series should start doing that, because if they did, let's say for instance, if Bleach would have just stopped at the Soul Society arc, or whatever the name of that arc was, I'm pretty sure that Bleach anime would have probably been the greatest anime, one of the greatest anime of all time, or even series of all time from a manga perspective as well, because you're not overextending and adding any bullshit. On top of that, it leads to better animation in the anime, when you get it, and it just feels flushed out, and it doesn't seem like, oh, okay, now what? It just tells a story and it ends in a happy ending. He would have got Orihime or some shit, and that would have been the end of the day, one of the top 5 anime probably. But And also in Naruto, like the first part of Naruto, in my opinion, was good until fucking Sasuke left. Once Sasuke left, like the whole series started feeling like shit. And I'm not gonna say that because I was watching Shippuden mainly for Sasuke to show up, and when Sasuke showed up, Naruto didn't do jack shit, even though he went on a 3-year training with Jiraiya. And it's like, nigga, what did you learn in that whole 3 years? Like, you telling me you couldn't learn the Rasen Shuriken in 3 years when you was training with Jiraiya? Instead, you was learning how to obtain the fucking Nine Tails? Like, that shit like that is what makes my mind puzzle about these type of shows and their pacing. But that's like a whole nother video about anime and its pacing. But all I really care about is the quality of the story and not having bullshit power-ups or bullshit coincidences where the main character gets over on the character. It's not hard to make it seem, you know, flushed out. Like, just have the main character win in a common sense way, or when you create these villains or circumstances, just make it to where it's possible where the main character can exploit their weaknesses. Because in many cases, these creators are creating villains and circumstances where it's damn near impossible for the main character to overachieve on. And so it leads to us like, what the fuck, when they actually beat them. You know, like when Madara was too OP and they made him turn into a fucking rabbit queen Kaguya. And then from there, the series just went downhill. So, well, the shit was going downhill way before that, like, you know, probably in the middle of Shippuden after Naruto got mollywopped by Sasuke. But that's neither here and there. This is pretty much all I have to say about this shit. Plot armor, plot holes. Well, it's really a plot armor video, but plot armor just needs to get better in anime and just in stories and movies or any type of content in general. But hey, shit, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. But I'll catch y'all guys in another video. Peace.